Welcome to the Rainmaker Podcast, a show for people who are obsessed with all things marketing. I'm your host, Veronica, Romney, certified master marketer, international keynote speaker, workshop facilitator, and the author of a new book called Identity Marketing. Each week, I interview rainmakers from brands big and small to pull back the curtain on what's actually working in marketing today. We dig into real-life wins and losses, and there's very real consequences, and get into spicy discussions of marketing controversies and opposing philosophies. This is the real marketing thought leadership you've been looking for in your ears on demand. This is the Rainmaker Podcast. I just finished recording easily one of the most influential podcast episodes of my career. And when I tell you that you have to listen to this and listen to it multiple times, I'm not exaggerating. My AI expert guest, Natalie MacNeil, just unloaded, released, discussed all of the ins and outs of everything that you are thinking of, debating, questioning, struggling when it comes to AI, using agents. She, just to give you context, not only is she wildly proficient in AI more than any other expert that I've met, but she on a daily basis is reading about up to 4 hours on just new AI everything. She's testing about 5 new AI tools a week, reading 4 hours a day, just to tread water in this insanely rapid pace acceleration that is AI, and especially when it comes to marketing implications, marketing teams, marketing future. We talk about the hot tips, pro tips that she uses to like tie custom GPTs to each other, which I never heard before. She talks about her predictions for the future that kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, I thought I was smart. And then I heard her talk. So like, I'm telling you, one of the best podcast episodes I've ever recorded. You will enjoy it and then some. Please welcome my guest, Natalie MacNeil. Natalie, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so obsessed with you, your gift, AI. And so like selfishly having you on the podcast. I know people will listen to this, but I'm just going to ask you all my selfish questions. I can't get enough of it. I have become obnoxiously bullish on this idea that marketing teams that don't fully embrace AI, the super revolution that is AI, will become antiquated. And yes, it will come for your job. I do believe that. So if the person can't manage the machine will replace the person without a shadow of a doubt, especially for marketers. Oh my gosh. So I'm excited to have this conversation because you are like queen of all things AI dream team. And why don't we actually start with the thing that you just told me about? You used to run a multi-million-dollar company with a staff of 20, and now you're still running a highly profitable division with a team of what? Like just so people understand like where we're at right now.
Yeah, and I should clarify. So the 20 was contractors as well, but pretty big team that was required to do all the different pieces of running our online funnel, optimizing. I'm in online education as my primary industry. So it's a huge team effort, even though it's a quote unquote low overhead online business. And my experiment over the last 2 years has been how many people does it actually take right now, today, to run $1 million business? And can I do that with like 2-3 people max? So that's been the experiment that I've been in.
Whoa.
And it is predominantly me and one other very full part-time person. So she's not even a full-time team member, but she does work around 25 to 30 hours a week. So it's pretty full on still. And one other very part-time person. And we're now able to run my company because we have all of these AI systems set up and we have our AI dream team built, and each person has their processes and their key performance indicators are all supported by their AI teams as well.
Jeez. Okay. Team of 20 down to 2 part-time people.
And if you look at the stats, if you look at all the data right now, tens of thousands of people are losing their jobs right now, even from tech-based companies. So for a very long time, we had a whole decade of, if you want your job to be safe, you need to work in tech.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
not the case. And AI is now doing, I think, nearly 50% of programming at a lot of big tech
I
companies.
have heard this, yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's another area where it was like, oh, if you want to have a safe job, you should be a programmer, like get a computer science degree. Everything is about to change. Every single thing. Marketing will look so different in a few years than it does today. This is not just a tool, like, this is a full on technical revolution.
Ooh, that was a trigger for me. It's really fascinating to see people's philosophy or points of view. I know VPs of product and chief technology officers who will say verbatim, AI is a tool, like any other tool. It's a great tool. And then I have CTO friends and VP of engineering or product that are like, no, no, it's a super revolution that doesn't even come close to like pre-internet, post-internet. Like we haven't even seen the likes of this ever in the history of like human progression. So people like there's a spectrum where people are like, oh, AI is just another great tool that we can leverage to do great work. And then people are like, nope, this changes everything about everything we've ever understood about humanity. Like the spectrum
Full
is wide.
spectrum.
I
Yeah.
know. I keep telling myself that like this is why I waste all of like ChatGPT's money by saying thank you and good morning and like trying to be nice to the machine. So when it takes over the world, it doesn't kill me in my sleep. This is what this is what I try to do.
Uh,
Um, Give me
well,
a sense. Can I also ask a clarifying question? So a team of 20 people, and again, when I think of team, I don't think team in the terms of W-2. Team is team. So it can be a W-2 full-time, part-time, 1099 agency partners, like anybody who's helping the endeavor that is marketing efforts is team. So you go from like 20 to like now to not full-time 40 hours a week humans plus this dream team of AI. How many custom chat GPT, it's not even maybe chat GPT, but like how many custom AI models, bots may like replace the 20?
I just counted this
Okay,
yesterday.
okay. Tell me the number.
You would
Yes.
have asked me this yesterday, I wouldn't have known. But I do know today that we have over 40
Okay.
at the moment. So over 40. And when building a custom GPT or in Claude is increasingly becoming my preferred
Your faves.
LLM,
Mm-hmm.
especially for things like marketing and creative and content. It also operates within ethical guidelines and with safety guardrails that I deeply appreciate and that are aligned with my personal values. So, Claude, it's projects, not custom GPTs.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And we make sure that each has a role, just like how in a company,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
an employee might have three KPIs, like there's three things that they're responsible for that are like recurring
Mm-hmm.
tasks and achievements that they're repeating in the
Mm-hmm.
business.
Mm-hmm.
You have that with your GPTs as well. As soon as you start trying to create one GPT to do multiple functions, that's where you're going to get hallucinations. That's where the quality isn't going to be as high. It starts to get confused because, for example, even for a content creator, if I'm trying to get the same custom GPT or Claude project to write my newsletter, my sales emails, and my social media posts, it starts to get confused. So
Interesting.
we get way better results by separating that out and by training a custom GPT just for social that's trained on our top performing, highest converting social posts,
Totally.
right?
But this is where so I don't know, we're getting into the weeds of it. This is where I have to be careful. This is where AI gets burdensome to me because I have the same kind of structure where I'm like, okay, and I give them fun names. So Lexi will help me with LinkedIn post. Sasha's going to help me with sales emails because I feel like a Sasha would write my sales emails. Like I have different names. But then like if I have this campaign and I want Lexi and Sasha to both understand. I feel like I'm like, gosh, not I got to transfer what I did inside of the Lexi, conversation into the Sasha like that's where I get annoyed.
Okay.
Help me.
Yes. So, a few things here.
Okay.
This is where starting to build automations
Yeah.
can be really useful And there are a number of different tools that you can use for automating. We have a number of AI automations now in Zapier. You can use make.com. N8N has become a really big tool for creating multiple agent workflows. There are a lot of tools, MindPal, a lot of tools you
I've
can.
heard of MindPal.
Yeah. And these are just tools that can help to connect different agents. Now, you can also do this in a really simple way, just in a thread in ChatGPT. So if you've created multiple agents the way that I have in custom GPTs in ChatGPT, in a thread, I can at symbol the agent or the custom GPT I've created into the same thread. So, what that means is that I'll start with my CEO GPT
Okay.
and we'll start setting high level strategy for the next quarter. Then I'm able to use the at symbol, my marketing strategist, and say, hey, here's the high level plan for the quarter. And here's what we're thinking from a marketing perspective. You create the marketing strategy.
What the?
It then creates
Okay.
the marketing strategy. Then, if we have specific things that need to be done, like I have a marketing optimizer, this is actually one of the team members that I give to my students as well. Like I have a whole suite that we offer that they can like connect in. Then I give it to my marketing optimizer to start setting the funnel and the campaigns, and then we at our content creator who actually creates the the deliverables and creative assets. So if I needed to go back and clarify something with one of the other team members, I can do that in the same thread.
Holy crap. How did I not know that you could tag in a
Well,
friend?
so many people don't know this. So
I
if
didn't
you're
know
doing
that.
this for the first time, this is like going to be a game changer for you.
Oh, yeah. I'm like already like, okay, like I gotta go play with this.
Yeah.
Okay. Had no idea that you could like in, like in Slack, like you can start a huddle, bring in somebody to the team.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a really simple way of creating a workflow. So, for example, workflows I have in like MindPal or in Tascade is another tool that I use. I can have my marketing manager, for example,
Mhm.
in my Tascade flow on a Sunday, this is an AI assigning a task to my newsletter copywriter to do a draft of the newsletter. So it can assign the task, then the content agent can complete the task and then assign it to me to work with that draft and to check. So you can create these multi-agent workflows, but I don't believe in automation for the sake of automation. It needs to be something that's like high leverage and useful. And I
Mhm.
actually find just working and atting your different team members in one thread can actually create a pretty powerful workflow that still has a lot of your input along the way.
Oh, my mind is already blown. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
do that all day long, every day long. Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting because
It changes everything.
I thought, and I am more proficient on Chat GPT, which I think a lot of people are probably lean towards Chatty because it feels like it was the first one on the scene, or at least a lot of us newbies, right? But like I thought I had to do it with the folder system where like you have a folder. So like I have a folder that's like health and fitness, but then I also have a custom Chat GPT called Serena Ali, Serena Williams and Muhammad Ali combined. And so like I want to talk to Serena, but then like I will have these different conversations with her, and then I get frustrated because they're not like talking to each other. And so I'm like, oh, I need to put all those conversations under the folder, and the folder contains the instructions that Serena would have. So that's how I've been doing it. But now with this thread thing, maybe I'm like, because like I'm using Serena too complicated. I want a workout plan, but I also want somebody to tell me what to eat. And like to your point,
I have
those are
that.
two, like a dietitian is not the same thing as a fitness coach. But I'm trying to get Serena, and then also like sync in my cycle and like all these and maybe that's too many things for just one bot.
Yeah, I love this because I've actually set up a similar flow in my personal life. So I do this scan. It's called an in-body scan. Maybe
Yeah,
you've
I do the DEXA scan. Yeah.
Okay. So I do this like every 2 weeks with my trainer.
Yeah.
And I've created a custom GPT that analyzes the scan and then it goes to my personal trainer is designing my workout program, but then I have an AI nutritionist as well. So I use video mode on that custom GPT that's trained in analyzing the in body scan. So I get the scan, I use advanced video mode, which is inside of advanced voice mode presently. And I'll say, everything that I'm sharing with you today could be very different tomorrow because
Yeah. Yeah.
models
Fair.
release all the time, new things
So let
are.
me timestamp this. Today we are recording this conversation on July 9th. It will not be published on July 9th, but Natalie and I are having a conversation on July 9th, 2025.
Yeah, I think that's important because things
Yeah.
change so fast. So on advanced video mode, it actually looks through my scan and it does a full analysis and then it sets all of my meals for the upcoming month according to that analysis.
Oh my
So once it does
gosh.
analysis, I just tag in my nutritionist and now you can start creating these workflows in both your business and your personal life. There's so
Yeah.
much you can use it for personally. And this is why I think we all need to be working on adopting an AI first mindset just to get
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
habit of
Mm-hmm.
using AI in everything. So
Mm-hmm.
before you do something, ask, how can AI support me
Mm-hmm.
in this? Because that's going to train you in systems thinking and AI first thinking. That's going to support you in future proofing your business and getting prepared for everything that's coming.
I think honestly that's probably the biggest limitation that we all possess is we have finite understanding of what AI can do, and it doesn't even come close to the infinite possibilities in which it can assist us in both our personal life and our professional life. Because like just this alone, you just described three agents, an agent to just analyze your scan, an agent then to tell you like food wise, then an agent to tell you what like fitness instruct like what okay, but here's the question, because immediately people are listening to this like whoa, you're telling chat gpt your dexa scan, your in-body scan, like that's, you sure you want to give it your blood work? Isn't that terrible? Like, so there's the privacy concern that is raging, and then also too, like, let's say it spits out a nutrition plan for you based off your last scan and knowing what you want to do with your body fat composition or whatever. How do we know it's accurate? So there's the privacy concern, and then there's the integrity of what it tells you to do. How do you help me overcome those hurdles?
Great question. So, privacy, here's where I start to have some challenges with
Okay.
platforms like ChatGPT versus something like Claude, just because of the ethics.
Yeah.
So, and I still, full disclosure, use ChatGPT
Yeah. Yeah.
all the time.
Yep.
But these are like ethical dilemmas that I sit
Yeah.
with and
Yeah.
contemplate. So with ChatGPT, there are only so many privacy settings that you can select in
Yep.
your own account
As of today. Yep.
as of today without having to actually reach out and submit a request to the company.
Oh geez.
So if you are using ChatGPT and you're feeding it any sort of sensitive information, I highly recommend that you file a privacy request through privacy. I believe it's privacy.openai.com. And you can actually submit to make sure that what you're sharing is not going to be used
To
for
train other
a
people.
model in
Mm-hmm.
any way. So there's an added layer of privacy that you actually have to take steps to do on your own. It's not native. Whereas with Claude, those settings are just native when you're creating a Claude project, for
Yeah.
example. Claude is arguably more human too. So I think for everyone who's listening who is in marketing, right, and we want authentic marketing and content,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Claude
Mm-hmm.
is much better at that. And I can tell something that's been written in ChatGPT pretty much every time. Claude is a lot better at humanization and
Ooh.
following humanization prompts as part of the instruction sets that you're using to set up the Claude project, which is equivalent to, again, the custom GPT in Chat GPT. So it's just more human in its outputs. So I almost always use it for content.
So you love Claude for
Yeah,
content.
because things like M dashes, things
Oh
like,
gosh, don't even get me started.
right, like negation constructions, like it's not X, it's Y, not X, not Y, not Z, it's actually A, right? Like I can tell every single time when
Yeah.
someone's using ChatGPT, and I'm starting to get turned off by that. And I notice myself not wanting to follow those people anymore because I feel like
Oh.
this is all just AI generated content. If I want to learn from AI, I can learn absolutely
Yeah.
anything from
Yeah.
AI on
True.
my own. Like
Just skip the middleman.
I want to hear from you. And it's
Mm.
okay if you are working with AI to formulate your ideas and to craft something, but I still want it to be you. Like I want to learn from Veronica. You're this like
Mm-hmm,
incredible marketer. You
mm-hmm.
have years and years of experience. Like I want your wisdom.
Yeah, and not just this regurgitated AI, AI summarize whatever, whatever. That's okay. That's really interesting. One of the I was so I can tell which marketers are the most enthusiastic about AI. Like, social media managers, like, let me never write a caption again. Thanks. Yay. Like they're so like there's certain, or ad hooks and ad creative, or not the creative part, but like the just a lot to do with like the body of text that one is responsible for. It's like blissful thinking that like I don't have to write ever again. And then the people on my marketing teams that seem to have the most allergy, the most intolerance to AI, like a dairy intolerance, is my creatives, my designers, the video artist. They're like, AI still can't match what I can do, or the illustrators that do custom illustrations. So what are you, again, time stamping this July 9th, 2025, but what do we say to that? Because I'm like, I'll be damned. What?
Okay, well, I will on July 9th,
Yeah.
2025 give it to you. If you are a great designer, I will give it to you that you are probably designing better in a lot of cases, like the kinds of graphic design that I need in my business right now. My designer can do a little bit with AI, but I prefer
Yeah, you can
most of
tell.
my graphics to be generated by a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Being said, Canva has been slowly rolling out some amazing features. And so with our Canva brand kit now, or if you've heard of beautiful.ai,
Mm-hmm.
which does full on like presentations and beautiful decks, and it can do all of that in your brand. And it's arguably really good. I think
Mm-hmm.
stock images you can generate pretty well now in Sora if you're using the right
Sora, yep.
prompts. Also, Midjourney. Midjourney is
Mm-hmm.
incredible for photos, especially for things like stock photos. But yes, there are things that a great graphic designer can still do that I would take over what AI is
Yeah.
doing. I don't think I would be saying the same thing 6 months from now, quite honestly. I think this is going to change very quickly. It's getting better and better by the day at doing graphic design, especially with Canva's new suite of AI products. I think it will be able to replicate on brand designs pretty easily. Now, when it comes to things like videography, when it comes to marketing assets, like I think you definitely have an edge by being that creative genius when you are actually working with AI. Like you will get better outputs. For example, with photography, right? In order to get a really good image with Midjourney or with Sora, I actually have to specify the camera, the lighting, what lens I'm using. So I will actually go through in a prompt and I'll list out all the camera settings, the lighting settings.
Whoa.
And most people don't know that. But if you are a photographer, you have the edge because
Yeah.
that is your zone of genius. And
Yeah.
you can bring your zone of genius into your prompting, which is also why you need to get really good at prompting. This is the language of the future. This is like the foundation of what I teach people. And I have a framework called the 3 C's, which is
Mm.
clarity, context, and cues. So clarity is like the role and the goal that you want your LLM being large language model like ChatGPT, like Claude, like Perplexity, the role that you want it to take on and the goal that you have from the output. The context is really important. It needs, in order to create a great output, a lot of context about your business. So I would upload my business plan, my marketing plans, my brand voice guide.
Yeah, I was gonna say like your voice tone, all that stuff. Yeah.
All of that needs to be
Yeah.
included. And the cues are really important. And this is what a lot of people miss.
Okay.
So the context is like the bigger picture. The cues are the supporting documentation that will allow the custom GPT or even just a prompt to have supporting documentation with your prompts that will make the output unparalleled. Like
Okay.
that's
Is this when you say cues, you mean like knowledge files? Or is that
yes.
in the context category?
Context I see as like the bigger picture.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then cues, we get into like the really small details. So, for example, for cues, if I'm setting up or if I want any social media content, I'm going to take my best performing social media content of the last 2 years.
Sure.
I'm going to run it through my marketing optimizer, GPT, and I'm going to do a full analysis of what makes that content exceptional and what are the elements of it that actually led to that post getting a
Hmm.
lot more shares or going viral. I take the full analysis. So it has all of our best performing posts with the full analysis that gets uploaded in the
That's the cue.
prompt or in the custom GPT. And
Okay.
that's just one cue. So
Yeah.
in any given situation, I'm uploading loads of supporting documentation to get
Okay.
those unparalleled and usable outputs. And this is the key for me. Like, I want something to be usable from the get go. I don't want
Yeah.
to massage it and go back and forth. That's also more in terms of the environmental impact, that has a bigger environmental footprint as well. So I want to get a usable output as early as I can.
Have you ever broken it? Like, have you ever fed it too much context, too many cues, too many knowledge files where literally the system was like, stop, I can't handle it? Like, have you pushed it to the brink?
Well, I think what starts to happen, what I notice with our team and also with teams that I work with,
Hmm.
is if you start feeding it too much, there's a higher probability that you're going to get contradictory
Okay.
instructions or
Yeah.
content. And that's the key for me. I think you can upload a lot of supporting cues. Like
Yeah.
some of my GPTs are trained on like loads and loads of information, but you have to make sure that nothing is contradictory.
Yeah. And we as human beings are very contradictory.
As
I
long
can
as
see how this is a problem.
like as long as your instruction set is clear and you have your like hard uh, guidelines and filters of things that you always have to avoid, things
Yeah.
you always have to include, you can include a lot of supporting documentation and it won't get
This
confused.
is where like an example of a walking contradiction for even for me is like I've done this exercise where I've analyzed the last, most successful post on LinkedIn in the last 365 days, or I've done it on Instagram, and both win. Really, really short, punchy, tight post do exceptionally well, and then like the run-on essay, 5 paragraph essay from like fifth grade also does really well. So then I find that my Lexi, my LinkedIn content writer, is like, I'm confused because like both perform exceptionally well. So what's the standard moving forward? And then what I'm trying to do is like, okay, and the behavior, I'm like, ask me if I prefer shorter or longer, or in every scenario, give me both versions and I can pick my favorite version. So that's how I've kind of gotten around it. But I was just curious if you had any pro tips beyond that.
I think what you're doing is great. That's what I often recommend. And this is where having a prompt framework is really
Yeah.
helpful too, because then you're providing it with very detailed instructions. And
Yes.
part of those instructions can be, if
If then, yeah.
not including enough
Yep.
information for you to create something exceptional, then make sure you ask me. Or in some of my custom GPTs, I say, always ask me 3 clarifying
Ah, I
questions
like that one. Yes.
that you believe will lead to this output being so much better beyond what I'm even thinking about. Like, I want to know what I'm missing. And it's
Ooh.
really good at that too, at going beyond what you're thinking about. That's what I love about AI. Like, you can go beyond your own limitations and
Yeah.
knowledge. So having it challenge you in that way, and then also to give it, um, to have it give you 2 versions, like a
Mm-hmm.
short and a long
Mm-hmm.
form. I'll usually clarify that in context. So when I'm creating content, I usually have a sense of, for
Yeah.
a particular topic,
Yeah. I hear
is
you.
it better as a short
Yeah.
form or is it better as long form? And
Long
I'll
form.
specify that. And that's the power of working with a.
That's the human element. Yes. That's the nuance. That's the thing that can't be machined yet. Question, and I want to get out of the trenches and I want to start hearing your predictions for the future. My last trench like question, basically my selfish frustration, is when I feel like I've done a very good job to tell Chatty we don't use M dashes. I've never used M dashes. I know that there are M dashers out there. I am not one of those. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I tell it it's in my brand, it's in my attached knowledge file. I even have an important section in the instruction file itself. And yet it is wildly disobedient. This is just one example because you brought up M dash and it was triggering. There's been other examples where like it just goes, it's not that it hallucinates, it just is disobedient to what I told, like a child. I'm like, I told you not to do this. Why are you doing this? Like, oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. Slavey. I'm like, no, Slavey. Like, you messed up. So what do you do when it's disobedient?
This is another reason why I do a lot of marketing and content in Claude. Claude is much less
Disobedient? Oh my gosh.
ChatGPT.
I'm like, you're
ChatGPT,
insubordinate. At this point, I should write you up. I'm so mad.
it loves to go against what you tell it to do.
Yes.
I find that you have to, in ChatGPT, in the instructions, you have to go over the top with how you tell it. It's like, never. So there are hard filters. So when I'm creating a custom GPT,
Yeah.
I use a section in that instruction set
Uh-huh.
that is hard filters, and it is always avoid M
I
dash.
said the same thing.
And then what actually started to work for me is I said,
Okay, tell
you
me.
can use one very well
Oh,
placed M dash
okay.
in an email or in a social
Okay.
media post that meets these requirements. And you
Okay.
can use an M dash if there is no alternative option, but then I actually provide the options. I'm like, first, make sure you check if you can structure the sentence in this way, or with a
Yeah,
colon, or with a
I've done
comma,
that.
or by starting a new
Yeah.
sentence. And it
Yeah.
gets a little better, but ChatGPT can be kind of disobedient. It's a little
It's
naughty.
insubordinate. It's
Yeah.
insubordinate. That's funny. So you're saying Claude is more obedient and more human. So basically, are we saying on this podcast that Claude over ChatGPT?
For certain things. So I
Okay.
believe that one of the things to start learning as a marketer, as a business owner, as a manager is which model to use for which task. Because if you're just going into
Okay.
ChatGPT and you're using the default thread and the default model, you actually could be missing out
Okay.
on such an expanded potential for what you're creating. So like Claude, there again, July 9th,
Ninth, yeah.
2025. We're into Claude Opus and Claude Sonnet 4. So Claude Opus 4, Claude Sonnet 4. Claude Opus 4 as a model is so good with like intricate
Mm.
marketing strategy, with emotionally intelligent content. It really is great for, like I say, for multidimensional brilliance. And
Well, if
Claude
that's not a selling feature, damn, you should do their marketing.
multi-dimensional
Yeah.
brilliance. Use Claude Sonnet for a lot of brainstorming, for presentations, for some content tasks. GPT-4o, which is the one that a lot of people are using right now,
Yeah.
it's a pretty all-in-one
Yeah.
powerhouse. It can handle like audio, video with those features as well. I really like in ChatGPT, actually. Gemini is great. Anything that you need to do that is related to like spreadsheets
Oh,
and
Gemini. Give it to Microsoft.
Gemini.
Okay. Mm.
Gemini 2.5 Pro, as of this date, is
Freak.
really good for anything that's like spreadsheet and data related. And what I love is that you can use it right in Google Drive. So when I'm doing a budget now, I just go into my Google Sheet, I call in Gemini in the top right corner, and I have Gemini create the entire spreadsheet with whatever data or input I give it.
So funny.
So it
The
saves me.
money you're saving on the team, you're losing in all your subscriptions to all your. I'm like, damn, there goes like my virtual office expense tripled. But no, I get what you're saying.
I
I
mean,
get what you're saying.
I have about $200 a month in
Yeah. In
subscriptions,
AI. Yeah.
and it's saving me
Yeah.
a
No, it's not
lot.
even. I just laugh because I'm like, we go, me and my husband every once in a while, we're like, how many subscriptions do we have? Cut them down. Why do we have 2 Netflix? How did this happen? And then, here we are like, I have a subscription to all these. Okay, I want to talk about your predictions for the future because I told you where I stand. I'm bullish. You either get on board or you out. Like it's that intense for me. And I don't desire to be out. And so I'm doing everything I can, it feels like, to catch up. But where do we go from here? I have not been this close. I have not had this level of proximity to these LMAs. Like I have just not. So like knowing what you know about them and the companies that support them and the companies investing in them, where are we going 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years from now, whatever?
Yeah, I love this conversation so much. And look,
Because you're a futurist.
I'll try to make it as practical as I
Okay.
can for you today, because I'm in the camp, as you were sharing before. There are people who think that AI is a tool. To me, a tool is like my active campaign CRM. It's not AI. So I think AI is going to change everything. Marketing is changing really fast, and that's
Yeah.
going to reshape how people are buying things, how people are connecting with brands. So one of the big things that is coming is agentic
Yes.
commerce.
Yes.
And platforms like Visa have already developed their agentic commerce agents, which means what I'm going to be able to do is train my Visa agent, or there are other platforms that are developing these agentic commerce agents too. It will know all of my purchasing preferences, and it will go out and find the best options for me. So people are going to start having their AIs buying stuff for them. Like,
Holy crap.
and this is coming in 2026. I think
So
it's
not even that far.
not even that far. Like, we're already starting to plan our 2026 right now. Like, this needs to be part of your company's planning now, because it's going to come in 2026. It's only going to get more and more powerful, and people will be sending their AI to search and to compare and to choose the products, the courses, whatever it is that they're investing in. So, what you need to start doing now is focusing on the way that we focus on search engine optimization. You need to
Right.
focus on AI, like the AI equivalent of search engine optimization. And one of the things that you can start doing is very clear, short, and sweet product descriptions that have the key features and benefits and the price in, again, very short data sets that you want to be using. Um, you want to be using structured data and
Yep.
schemas for your website. Like, that's going to
Yep.
be really important. And what we're seeing right now is that these agents are, even if you're looking for something and you're using some of the LLMs that are able to go out and search for you, they're looking at reviews. So the more reviews that you can have, especially on the public platforms like Google, like having a lot of 5-star reviews on
And
Google.
Reddit too. I see AI loves Reddit.
It does. Yeah, Reddit, because Reddit allows
Mm-hmm.
their content to be given
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
AI as
Mm-hmm.
well. So I think that's going to help a lot. We're also going into an era where a lot of things are going to become decentralized and built on blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that we need to be thinking about things in a very community oriented
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be, have you heard of the term self sovereign identity?
No.
So I think this is another big thing that I'd love to put on people's radars.
Yeah, I don't
So,
want to even pretend I'm that smart. No, just tell me like I don't know anything.
I think even some of these things that I see coming over the next couple years, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think they are on a lot of people's radars at the moment.
Self-sovereign identity.
So this is where you have, and this is built on blockchain and decentralized
Mm-hmm.
protocols and platforms. So this is user owned and controlled identity. And actually, just last week, Denmark passed regulation that people own their own name and face and likeness. So, definitely stepping towards that self sovereign identity, which means that people through, on blockchain, it's through wallets. So I also recommend, if you haven't tried any blockchain platforms, if you haven't been a crypto investor,
See,
if
we
you're
have crypto, but is that what you're talking about? Like,
yeah, so crypto though that's not held on a major platform,
okay, okay.
because then you don't get the learning, but like setting up a MetaMask wallet, because it gives you a sense of what it's like. And with MetaMask, you would be able to hold non fungible tokens. And a lot of things are going to be tokenized in the future, where you will you'll have tokens for pretty much everything. And if you want to receive somebody's writing, somebody's email newsletter, well, it won't be email, it will go through the wallet in the future. So you will kind of gatekeep your own wallet and also your identity, and you'll choose who has access, like who can send you things. But where we had Web 2, which is like the social web, right? Where basically Facebook makes money
Mm-hmm.
off of all of us creating content there all,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in the future, we're not going to have that like central company that makes all the money. That's the goal anyway with blockchain. So, one of the things that you can do for this now is, I think, just start to look into wallet marketing, because we don't have the time to go really deep into it right now. But set up a wallet, look into wallet marketing,
Holy
and
crap.
start to look at token rewards and gated content on wallets. And you can just like look this up. You can even go to ChatGPT and you can be like, hey, I heard that part of the future of marketing is going to be using wallets and self sovereign identity. How can my business enter all your business details? And I'm in this industry. How can my business start preparing for this now? And it will give you some pointers on what you can start doing. So I think those are some of the things that are coming. I
Jeez.
think community is going to be so important too. So like creating spaces to gather, I think like community over.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Some people are again, that's a whole other podcast because some people are terrified about moderating, maintaining, holding space for a community, and oh my, all that comes with
How do you
it.
do that? Because I think we're going to have less like one leader
Mm-hmm.
leading a
Mm-hmm.
community and more
Yeah.
communities where there's not hierarchy and where
Right.
everyone's sharing. So how can you build a community where it
Right.
is kind of self-sustaining too and doesn't require you to always be in there and moderating?
Natalie, you are a bloody genius.
I
Oh my God. My
I
brain, I like literally, as soon as we get off this part, I'm gonna go to Claude immediately. Oh, pro tip, because I've spent all of my life inside of ChatGPT, how do I even begin to start migrating? Like, oh my gosh, it's like once you get on iPhone and then you see these like Google Pixel commercials, you're like, no, I'm too far in. My whole life is Apple. I'm too far in. I feel that I'm starting to feel those tentacles with I'm in ChatGPT every day. So now like adopting Claude feels like I can't do it now.
Oh, I know. And this is how they get you, right? And this is why memory is such an important feature across all of these, because those are the companies that are going to own the future, the ones that
Yeah.
know the most about you, because then they can give you
Um,
the most personalized
yeah.
experience. So I think there's never going to be an easier time than now to start using another platform,
Okay, that's good to
even though
know.
it does require some work. It's worth it. You can even have ChatGPT help you to create all of the assets that you need to move over to Claude. And ChatGPT is still really great for a lot of things. I still love their custom GPT model and the ability to share those, and for me
Yeah.
to be able to give my clients access
Yeah, that's
to
fun. Making chatties for people. Yeah.
exactly. Like that's amazing. I am curious when Claude is going to do that. I'm surprised they
Yeah.
haven't allowed that already in their project. So there are some good things, but for marketers, for content creators, I highly recommend checking out
Claude.
Claude. It's worth the extra $20 a month to kind of be using
Yeah.
both and to set up
Where
a
are your fitness agents? Who's running your scans and who's telling you what to eat and do?
that's on ChatGPT.
Chatty. So maybe I'll stay with Chatty a
Yes.
little bit longer. Okay, but like your newsletter and your thought leadership content would be more Claude.
Yes. And then one of the things that I love, like
Okay.
Gemini, for example, has all the YouTube integrations. So if
Yeah.
you need to summarize YouTube videos or
Oof.
do anything that's YouTube related, Gemini is
The
the
best.
platform for you for that. And it can actually do, wow, so many things in Gemini that you can't do in other places as well. So
Mm.
that's another.
I was sad for Google when their Gemini commercial during the Olympics botched it so bad. I don't know if you ever heard about that, where like they ran a commercial where this father was advising his daughter who had the desire to beat Sydney one day and like her favorite, runner, track runner, and like basically told this little girl to use Gemini to write this authentic fan letter. And it had a backlash because it's like felt inauthentic to use AI to write an authentic letter. And it was the dad that was telling the daughter basically how to cheat. And they ended up, it tested well in focus groups, but they ended up pulling it out of rotation for the Olympics. So
I
it's funny
did.
because they're getting it right on the product side. Their marketing could use some help.
Yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
really fascinating. And I mean, education is a
Yeah.
whole other space. It's going to change so much. And I do think that we need to start training kids to be thinking about AI and how do you work with AI in a way that is still helping you to
Develop.
do more. And
Yeah.
it's not, we had this MIT study on cognitive debt with chat gpts, but there were a lot of issues with that study too. And I wrote a piece with a clinical neuropsychologist on cognitive potential with AI. It's all about how we use it, and you can use it to make you smarter, to think about things differently. And I think that with kids, we actually need to start to train them
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
collaborate with AI in a lot of different
Well, my
ways.
boys are already like, they don't, my generation was like, Google it. My boys, the alpha generation, they don't say Google it, mom. They say ask chat.
Yeah.
So this it's fascinating, even as a mother, to witness this next generation come up and like their go-to behavior is just radically different than even how I was raised. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Before we conclude the podcast and you get to ask me whatever you want, I where can people throw their credit card at you? Like, how do they work with you? Do you work with teams privately? Are you a course seller? Like, how does one leverage the genius that has been on full display in this episode?
Oh, thanks, Veronica. Well, my core program is AI Dream Team. And if you come over to nataliemacneil.com, you'll find that. So that will help you create your own personal AI Dream Team for whatever business you're running. And it covers both your business and your life, setting up an AI dream team for your business and your life. And then you can also get my suite of agents. So I have 10 AI dream team members that I actually give you access to as well. And there's so much more in there. So I recommend starting there. It's a great foundation. And then you can always reach out to me as well. I do a limited amount of private consulting, but I think AI Dream Team's the place to go. And come say hi on Instagram and let me know what you're taking away from this episode too.
This is some good. Oh, look at this. So, founder whisperer, marketing operator, sales coach, sales page copywriter, ultimate launch planner, story bank creator, curriculum and program experience designer, content repurposing engine. Stop it now. But
Yes,
also
you'll get
don't.
all of those.
Yeah.
Those are all members of my AI Dream Team that you can get access to
Yeah.
in the program, as well as creating your own suite of custom GPTs and Claude projects that will be able to take on a lot of work that you're.
Also, this is less than $1,000. What is this? Stop it. Like, it's just stupid cheap. Okay. There
I'm
you go.
trying to
That's
make
my.
it I want it to be accessible
Well, it is. It
as many
is.
people as possible. I
It
want
is.
everyone to start thinking like in that
It
AI
is.
way and
It
building
is.
their AI dream
That's
team.
very generous of you. You must be Canadian. No, I'm just kidding. So we do this fun thing where I literally have spent 48 minutes asking you all of my questions and venting to you about when chat disobeys me and like I want to write it up. So I only think it's fair that the guest gets to ask me whatever they want for fun.
Ooh, okay.
The power.
Well, this is my favorite thing to talk about with
Okay.
everybody right now, especially
Okay.
someone who's such a genius in marketing like
Oh.
yourself. I've learned so much from you.
Oh.
So, what are you most hopeful and excited about when you think about the future of marketing?
Ooh, that is a good question. That's a really good question. Why am I still doing this almost 20 years later? What am I excited for the next 20? Like, what lights me up? Okay, I'm probably answer this a little bit differently, but it's the first thing that immediately popped to my mind is like, I feel like, and this is being someone who has recently re-entered the workforce in a more structured way than like the wild west that is entrepreneurship, which I'm also simultaneously doing both, right? But I left corporate in like 2017. Like I left it. I remember like my last day, October 2017, from a big software company. And then I worked with a handful of big names, entrepreneurs in like more thought leadership models. And then obviously doing my own thing. So to come back to tech, to come back to software, to come back to ed tech specifically, just to come back to this world, it's interesting to me. And what I'm noticing is that marketing is rewriting itself in functionality, roles, titles, job descriptions. Like how we would try to solicit or find marketing talent was a little bit more linear, a little bit more boxed in. And now if you read some of the job descriptions that are out there, it's like, what the fuzz is this? Like this VP of growth oversees this. Like what would have been 4 or 5 different individual directors or people are now being combined. Titles that didn't exist before, that, chief growth officer, like there used to be chief marketing officer. Now there's the chief revenue officer. Now there's the chief demand. Like it literally, the bounds and the lines around marketing is wildly changing. And I say that with enthusiasm because that just means that like the upcoming marketing talent and young professionals, I'm not saying young in age, but just like in tenure and years of experience, I feel like they've never been in a better position to literally write their own job description, to really write their own career path than when I entered the world and it was kind of written for me, if that makes sense. And because it was written for me, entrepreneurship was wildly advantageous and luring because I could do whatever the hell I wanted and I can call myself whatever I wanted. I didn't expect to find that same level of maverickness that is presently happening in more structured business environments, like I do today, which I think is really interesting. So is marketing getting completely turned on its head? Holy hell. I mean, we just had a 50-minute conversation how AI is going to like take over the world specifically for marketing departments. With that said, we get to rewrite what marketing looks like. Never before have I experienced that to this degree. So that's exciting.
Yeah. And I love that, because if we are continually learning, if we have that mindset, if we're curious, if we're bringing, especially right now when we're still early in this whole revolution that's going to happen,
Super
and it's
revolution.
already happening, like if we bring a spirit of experimentation to it
Yes.
and we
Yeah.
treat it as play, I think those are the people that are going to really set themselves up well. It's the people like you who are like, I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm excited and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
And that's
Like literally, I'm rewriting my job description as we speak, because of AI, because of the expectations of leaders tomorrow is to lead a team with AI, like to replace a team of 20 with a team of one. Like even in a leadership capacity, the expectations are wildly changing. I don't know which big software company was like, there will be no additional new hires unless you can justify that the job can't be performed by AI. I don't know if that was Salesforce that got the backlash or somebody, but like, or just Liquid Death barely just came out with a big, beautiful commercial that was completely AI generated. Like it is wild what is happening right now. And I say that with enthusiasm because I'm embracing it and I'm like, walking into the sandstorm with my eyes fully open.
And to me,
Yeah.
like that's the most important thing to highlight from
Yeah.
this entire conversation. I think we've talked about so many things that you can start doing, start
Right.
thinking about, start learning, different tools that you can
Yeah.
check out,
Pro tips.
those that you can start doing. And still, the most important thing, if you take away one thing from this conversation, I think is your, Veronica, enthusiasm for it, because we can be afraid
Yeah.
of everything that's going to happen, and we can be afraid of it coming for our jobs and afraid of all the change that's going to happen,
Yeah.
or we can approach it with that enthusiasm and that curiosity,
Yeah.
and that's going to completely change how we personally end up navigating this revolution that we're in.
Mic drop. Wrap it up. That was like a perfect little cherry on top of that ending. Natalie, thank you so bloody much. Like, thank you so much for coming and being on this like podcast. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being brilliant. Thank you for sharing your brilliance. Just like I literally am going to share this episode with everybody. I'm so excited. So
Right
thank
back
you for
at you.
coming.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening today. If you've loved what you heard, make sure to rate the show, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps us get the Rainmaker podcast in front of more passionate marketers just like you. And if you're ready to transform your marketing from buy this to be this, pick up my new identity marketing book available on my website at veronicaromney.com. Until next time, my friends, keep making it rain.